What is an essay and how to write one? Characteristics of an essay. The word essay itself comes from the French language and means essay, outline. The essay does not answer the question posed in the problem, does not solve it. It reflects the inner feelings and experiences of the author. When writing an essay, the author develops skills such as logic of presentation, the ability to provide arguments in defense of his/her opinion, and competent provision of necessary information. The essay is usually written in a conversational style, but it is possible to introduce elements of publicistic, scientific and artistic style. The essay has special attributes by which it can be easily distinguished from other written assignments. A definite topic that has a problem that prompts the reader to think. The individual position of the writer is clearly expressed. Small scope of the topic and its specificity. Trusting and open communication with the reader, but without ingratiation. Unhurried narration, so that the reader can be penetrated by the thoughts of the author. Logic of exposition, internal unity, consistency of statements, an introduction, a logical conclusion. When writing an essay, it is necessary to know all these signs, so as not to make a mistake. After all, an incorrect presentation of your thoughts can lead to the fact that the teacher will not accept the work. How essays differ from essays. Students and schoolchildren often confuse these two types of assignments. After all, both an essay and an essay are a written assignment with a problem to be solved in the end. But an essay often calls for the author to analyze a work of fiction. And it is necessary to consider it objectively, not considering one's opinion as the only correct one. In the essay, the author proves exactly his point of view. He needs to give arguments in defense, express his opinion on the problem that is given. The essay should surprise the reader. It is desirable to use various aphorisms, tropes, play with styles and images to make an impression. How to write an essay correctly. An essay is a creative assignment. But you also need to have a certain approach to it, so that the work turns out to be excellent. Choosing a topic. Focus on the list of suggested topics and choose the most interesting one for you. How to start an essay. Don't immediately squeeze an introduction out of yourself. It's better to proceed to a rough outline of the thoughts you have in your head on the topic. This will add to your self-confidence and help you choose the right words. Writing plan. Even in such a free genre has its own structure. Introduction. Here the author introduces the reader to the problem, creates a certain mood and desire to reflect on the specified topic. The main part. It is necessary to argue your point of view, to offer different judgments. You can point out the opinions of other people, generally accepted truths, and so on. Conclusion. In the final part it is necessary to push the reader to think, so that the author's thoughts remain in memory for a long time. Tips for beginners. Simple but effective tips to write an excellent essay. Provide as many arguments as possible to prove your position. Don't steal someone else's opinion. An essay is an author's perspective on an issue. You can cite someone else's quote, just be sure to cite the author. Don't forget to check grammar and spelling errors. Also, do not forget about the logical connection between sentences. The text should be easy and understandable. Errors in writing an essay. The essay is a creative assignment, so students make a lot of mistakes when completing it. Let's try to deal with them, so that in the future there will be no problems with writing. Mistake 1. The essay is based on the author's position, on individual thoughts and opinions. The student often completes his assignment with interesting turns of phrase. But at the final reading, the author is afraid of being misunderstood and removes all the reasons from his essay. And at the end, you are left with a dry, uninteresting narrative. Mistake 2. In the essay, the author resorts to stating his own opinion, writing about what is important to him, but in most cases, he does not support his statements with arguments, and as a result, the essay becomes meaningless. Mistake 3. To write a good essay, You need to understand the problem and know what to write about. But often students don't work through the topic and end up with no answers, and the essay loses its value. Mistake 4. Students with insufficient knowledge and skills simply list other people's opinions in their essays and do not express their own point of view at all. This is a mistake, because it is one's own impressions and knowledge that are important in an essay. The essay does not limit the flight of imagination and creativity of the author. On the contrary, it welcomes all creative ideas and opinions. Therefore, it is an excellent assignment for those who want to prove themselves and express themselves.